The United States and Canada share the longest international border in the world. They speak the same language. They have one of the closest economic relationships on Earth. Millions of people cross the border every year. So why aren't they one country? Why did one become the United States while the other remained Canada? Was Canada ever supposed to join America? Or did history take a completely different path? The answer begins more than 250 years ago, during the birth of the United States itself. More than 250 years ago, North America looked very different from today. Britain controlled 13 colonies along the Atlantic coast. Farther north, Britain also ruled what would later become Canada. Although both regions were under British control, their people lived very different lives. The southern colonies were growing rapidly, while the northern territories were smaller, colder, and less populated. At first, no one imagined that these neighboring lands would follow completely different futures. Everything changed in 1775. The 13 colonies rebelled against British rule. They wanted independence, lower taxes, and the right to govern themselves. After years of war, Britain finally recognized the independence of the United States in 1783. A brand new nation was born. But one important question remained. Why didn't Canada join the revolution too?
Unlike the American colonies, many people living in Canada remained loyal to the British Crown. Thousands of Loyalists fled north after the American Revolution because they did not support independence. Britain also invested heavily in defending and developing Canada. Instead of becoming part of the new United States, Canada continued to grow under British rule. From that moment, the two neighbors began following different political paths. Many of the people living in Canada believed remaining part of the British Empire would bring greater stability and security. After the American Revolution, nearly 40,000 Loyalists moved north into British territory. They brought families, businesses, and new settlements that helped shape modern Canada. Instead of joining the United States, Canada became even more closely connected to Britain. This migration permanently changed Canada's future. The United States didn't give up on expanding north. During the War of 1812, American forces invaded Canada several times, but the invasions failed. British troops, Canadian militias, and Indigenous allies successfully defended the territory. When the war ended, the border remained exactly where it had been before. Canada stayed British, and the United States looked west instead of north. One of the most dramatic moments came in 1814, when British forces captured Washington, D.C. Several government buildings, including the White House, were set on fire. Although the war ended without major territorial changes, it strengthened Canada's identity. It also convinced many Canadians that remaining separate from the United States was the right choice. As the decades passed, the differences became even greater. The United States became an independent republic with its own constitution. Canada slowly gained more self-government while remaining connected to Britain. In 1867, Canada officially became a federation known as the Dominion of Canada. Although still linked to the British Empire, Canada was developing its own national identity. Today, the United States and Canada are close allies. They share one of the world's largest trading relationships. They cooperate on security, defense, and international affairs. But Canadians have built their own identity, government, and political system. Joining the United States has never been a serious goal for most Canadians. Two neighboring countries with shared history, but different futures. Today, the two countries remain close friends, but they are built on different political traditions. Canada is a constitutional monarchy, while the United States is a constitutional republic. Each country has developed its own laws, institutions, and national identity. Despite sharing the world's longest international border, neither country is seeking to become one nation. So why isn't Canada part of the United States? Because history took a different path. Different wars, different political choices, and different national identities. Sometimes the smallest decisions in history create the biggest differences in the world we know today. And that's exactly what happened between Canada and the United States.